YouTube, we have a problem. Apollo 13, released in 1995, and is directed by Ron Howard, who has also directed such films like Cocoon, Willow, Splash, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Frost Nixon, The Da Vinci Code, and Solo: A Star Wars Story. And this film has an all-star cast of Tom Hanks, Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, Gary Sinise, and Ed Harris. And the reason why we're talking about Apollo 13 today is because it was a PayPal recommendation and donation from one of my longest supporters and contributors on this channel, Rusted Beetle. Thank you very much for this recommendation and donation. You always pick the best recommendations and have a great ensemble. I remember watching this film as a kid, thinking that it was like one of the longest movies that I've ever watched. I was in my parents' living room, and I just thought it was so exciting from beginning to end and everything that they had to do. This brings back memories. Jim Lovell has always had a dream of stepping foot on the moon, and after the Apollo 11 spacecraft was able to do so, he is even more eager now to make it to the moon because he has a feeling that NASA is going to shut down the moon landing project. Thankfully, he gets called to command the spaceship Apollo 13, along with fellow pilots Fred Hayes and Jack Swigert. But this Apollo mission is not known for its landing on the moon. It is only made famous because of all the problems these astronauts experienced in space. Yeah, because basically their spaceship blew up halfway there to the moon. So yeah, I believe they called a successful failure in this movie because the astronauts are able to return back to Earth, but did not land actually on the moon. And I'm sorry, I just spoiled this thing for you. I mean, it is part of American history, so the information's been there for many decades, going on for almost a century now, so I feel like I'm in the clear on that spoiler. But this was one of the event films of 1995. I'm pretty sure they had like McDonald's Happy Meals or like some type toy combination where you would get like different parts of the space shuttle that was being launched. And I remember getting that entire set and playing with that spaceship for my entire childhood. This movie means a lot to me. And it came out in 1995. Majority of these visual effects and the story, the filmmaking process, still hold up today. And this movie did not use wires. Oh, no, no, no. All of those weightless scenes and short little clips that you see throughout the movie were all done with these actors basically free-falling in space for about 23 to 25 seconds. They were able to build the set of the spaceship on a KC-137 airplane, and these airplanes are able to do short little bursts of free falls. So when you see Bill Paxton playing around with the cassette player, or Tom Hanks kind of flying through the middle part of the spaceship, that was all done while the actors are free falling, basically parachuting without a parachute, just inside of a, I guess, safety plane. Needless to say, there were a lot of bumps and bruises had by the actors, and I'm sure a lot of vomiting happened while filming. I can't even imagine being an actor in that situation of, okay, yes, my character is in space, so I have to be calm, cool, and collected, because I know what I'm doing, and I have to be floating around and moving from one part to the other, but yet in the back of your mind knowing, like, no, I'm an actual person on this planet Earth, and I'm literally falling from almost outer space, the Earth's atmosphere. I'm literally falling to Earth's surface for about 23, 25 seconds, and I could easily die. But here, call action, and I'm gonna film it for you. I think big props need to be given to Kevin Bacon, Bill Paxton, and Tom Hanks. Also because they're great in this movie. They're a great little ensemble. Tom Hanks, this was the time when he was solidifying himself as America's sweetheart. We loved him in everything that he did. Every project that he took out around the early 90s. Philadelphia, Forrest Gump. So here he is again, and he's great. I love him. Kevin Bacon's character has a great little arc. He is the fill-in. He wasn't actually supposed to be on this mission, but because Gary Sinise's character has signs of the measles, he's not able to go into space, so in comes Kevin Bacon, like you always do. And I keep forgetting that Bill Paxton is no longer with us because of films like this and Twister, just thinking like he was a young guy. Of course he's still around today, but no, he actually passed away many years ago, and I just keep being reminded every time I pull up a movie like this, or True Lies, or something. Gary Sinise, who always appears in these 90s Tom Hanks films, in almost every single one he appears, and he's fantastic. Probably the best moment in this entire film is Ed Harris, who is NASA control. He's running the operations. He's the director. He's trying to keep everyone calm. Just seeing this guy with his flat top buzz cut, you can tell he's an army man and he means business, and he has so much intensity in every single frame that he is on screen. When you look at him, you go like, oh, he's the boss and I'm going to do whatever he says. I may disagree or shout out my opinions, but whatever he says in the end, that's what we're doing. And the best part of this movie is at the very end, the astronauts, they're in the Earth's atmosphere, the parachutes have come out, they're okay. He sits back and he takes a little moment to himself, and you can see just his eyes watering up, some tears are falling. There's something about just this stern, hard-ass, masculine of a man kind of breaking down and being vulnerable for a couple of seconds. It gets me every time. I love that moment. I would say the only thing that bothers me about this movie, and I totally understand why these are in the film, but all of the cutbacks to Tom Hanks's wife in the movie, it's an opportunity for the audience to check in with the people of Earth and how they're treating the Apollo mission. They really don't give a damn until everything starts going haywire, and then everyone starts caring about it. But we keep cutting back to the wife, and she's like, oh yeah, you go do it, you know, it's your dream. But you can tell, like, she's kind of pissed off because now she's alone, left to raise 3 different kids, and all these different family members coming over. You can see all the stress on her. This is the only part that really just took me out of it. I'm like, of course we're dealing with the person who's not actually in the situation. We're just cutting back to them, and she's like, oh, I want to know what's going on with my husband. Apparently she has a NASA radio where she can hear all of NASA controls, discussions, and everything. And I'm like, there's no way she actually had that in person. If the real life person had that radio, I would be shocked. They only did this for dramatic effect for the movie. Those parts aside, I think this film is quite thrilling. It's problem after problem after problem, and these 3 astronauts and this ensemble group in NASA Control need to come up with solutions with each problem, or these astronauts are not making it home. And this is the space race. We don't want to have tragedies in space, or else we're going to be seen as the laughingstock of the space race of the entire world, and Russia's probably going to win. Basically, the only reason why we haven't come back to the moon is that we're no longer in a Cold War, so it's going to be a while till we get something like this. Probably head out to Mars, actually. We don't care about the moon anymore as people. Apollo 13 is a thrilling adventure. I think everyone needs to see it. It's just thrilling and wonderful from beginning to end. I'm going to give Apollo 13 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
So guys, if you've seen Apollo 13, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I'm releasing next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.